Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Big up your damn selves in the building. Make sure you smash up the likes every single damn time and subscribe if you are new. Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 1 review. Not complete, not comprehensive, but necessary, needed. European spot confirmed. What form of European football we'll find out in the FA Cup final. If Manchester City can win against Manchester United, then of course it will be Europa League, which was the bare minimum expectation, in my opinion, for this season, and we have reached it almost. So, listen, it wasn't a great performance. It was very reminiscent of, performances a few months back. Very rock and roll, very back and forth, very open, very chaotic. 22 shots for Bournemouth in this game is not what you want to see at home at Stamford Bridge. They could have scored on numerous opportunities, and that's why I give Petrovic man of the match personally, I give him special mentions because he's kept this goal deficit down to just one. We also had our opportunities as well, having 16 shots, 6 on target. There was many moments, whether it was in Cuckoo coming off the bench having an opportunity, whether it was Cole Palmer not at his brilliant best today in terms of his final third decision making or finishing, but he still gets an assist and gets himself on the charts. Obviously, our goals, which I'll speak about in a minute, were great to see, but it wasn't a great performance. It was very knee jerk, very erratic. So it's not the way that we wanted to see the team go out there and end the season in terms of performance, but in terms of results, it's 5 wins out of 5. It's consistency. It goes down as form, genuine form, and it's something to build on for next season. Now, in this game, I have to speak about Caicedo's goal to start the show, because I didn't see this coming from him. It was a great 50-50 between the keeper Neto and Gallagher that he obviously won. Got the ball through to Caicedo, and when he's receiving the ball in the midfield on the halfway line, I'm not expecting him to pick his head up and say, I'm going to go for this. But that's exactly what he does. And it is the goal of the season contender. It may even be the goal of the season. I think for us, it certainly is. Whether it is Premier League, unanimously goal of the season, I don't know, because Mohamed Kudus scored a quite incredible goal at the Etihad to give West Ham a goal back in that game. Basically flipped it up for himself and then overhead kicked it into the top corner. Unbelievable strike. So we've had 2 incredible goals today, but Caicedo's was out of nowhere. He dyed his hair blonde like David Beckham, and suddenly now he's scoring belters from the halfway line. It's beautiful, and he's been in some beautiful form recently, on and off the ball, receiving the ball in those fantastic little positions in the build-up play, having no stress, no pressure on him, just oozing class, oozing elegance, Caicedo in these matches recently. I'm just really happy that he's finally starting to get his flowers and he's starting to show his class, because at the start of the season, yes, his errors were there. Yes, his tackling from behind was causing many fouls and picking up many bookings. Yes, there's a penalty conceded or whatever, and it's costing us points in some situations and some moments. But I always said that this player was someone that I would not be, confused about the quality. I would not turn my head away from the ability I saw at Brighton last season. For his age, in the position he plays, you will grace with age for sure. You will continue to learn the game at only 21 years old to be this good. But in this position in particular, you get better with age. Your awareness, your understanding your surroundings, the experience that you gain. It's just going to be incredible to see the guy grow. He's going to be a top player. There's no doubt about it. So I'm really happy he's kind of come out of that, nasty patch at the beginning of his Chelsea career, where people were really onto him. The lights were bright, the magnitude was on him, the microscope, and yeah, we move. So we move, and yeah, the performance. Listen, Sterling gets his goal on the left wing. He jinky majinkies through some players and shoots at the near post, and Neto just lets it through his legs. It's not a great finish. It's not what I expected him to do. I wanted him to kind of cut it back to Cole Palmer, but in the end we got a bit of luck and we got the goal. But yeah, the defending for the goal we conceded right after Sterling scores, just when you think you've got a 2-0 lead, just when you think you're comfortable and you're going to see the game out, we go and concede literally a minute after. And Cucurella, who, when I'm looking at his stats, it's, I think, 10 ground duels, 1 out of 13. He was winning the ball in really aggressive positions higher up the pitch, really good counter press, which could have led to more goals in this game. Obviously, it led to a goal, but it could have led to more goals. But at the same time, for this goal, him and Badiashile on that left-hand side just weren't good enough. And Badiashile just sticks a lazy leg out and it goes into the roof of the net. And you're just thinking, why, oh, why? And I don't know what it is, but this team, when they're 2-1 up and they just let the game just go, and we're bringing on the Caicedos and the Okachukwus, who's basically just come back from injuries, not fully fit, I was fearing the worst, especially when I saw Solanke coming on as well. I saw Solanke coming on. I thought about Ola Aina and Hudson-Odoi and Tariq Lamptey and all the Cobham boys always coming up against us, and I thought, this is not it. This cannot be it. And Solanke really did cause us problems. He was having a couple of shots that were causing Petrovic problems and just missing the post barely. So we were very fortunate, in my opinion, to get out of this with a win. And credit to Bournemouth, because they had nothing to play for. They should have been on the beach, but they actually turned up and caused a lot of issues for us today. So yeah, it wasn't a great performance, and it wasn't a great showing. However, like I said, we got the win, and we take it, because we're not about to get used to winning just yet. Do you know what I mean? We're not at that point. We're still fairly new to this at the back end of the season. But yeah, credit to Bournemouth, I have to say. Now, listen, on Madueke, not great at all. Him and Mudryk, you know, we gotta reflect on the seasons they've had. The upward moments that they've shown, specifically Madueke, I think, in my opinion, has shown a little bit more. But at the same time, if we are to progress and we are to make up those points that we need to make up to make Champions League football qualification next season, those wide areas need to be improved upon. And I'm not talking about in 2025. And it's either going to come from those players making drastic changes and improvements in their game and giving us consistency at the highest level, or it's going to come from the window. Because for me, next season, we need to be making Champions League. We need to be 70 points plus, near 75 if we can. Funnily enough, when I looked back at the points tallies, we'd actually never got over 74 points apart from the 21-22 season, and then when we won the league under Conte. Every other season since the Conte win, bar one, has been below 74 points. So usually in the 60s. So it's not something that we do often. It's not something that we do easily. However, that should be the aim and that should be the target, whilst competing and then winning the Europa League and obviously the other domestic cups. So yeah, the wingers are, the wingers are too much like this, and we're just not getting any consistency. So it's hampering the team a little bit, because if Cole Palmer doesn't have his brilliant best day like he didn't today, I need those wingers to be on point, but I need them to be consistent next season. And I know it's early, probably in their careers, they're maybe really young, but if we're buying young players to look up to Madueke's and Mudryk's as senior players, then they have to perform like senior players, and they have to be consistent, and they have to show the quality. I don't believe it's particularly fair, because I think if anything, Madueke and Mudryk should be bench players making rotational minutes, and there should be seniors in front of them teaching them how to play at this level on a consistent basis. However, that's not the direction we're going in. These players that you see that are 21, 22, they are the senior players. We don't really tend to, at the moment, go older than those guys, barring a couple of instances. So yeah, they gotta step up next season. But yeah, what can you do? they are the age they're at for a reason, and they are coming from the clubs they're coming from. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to waffle on for too long. It wasn't a great game in terms of a performance. There was a lot of chances for both teams. We had chances. Jackson's play outside the box was good again, but again, final third for everyone, not really great today. Even in Cuckoo, when he come on, like I said, could have scored. Caicedo come on, got some minutes. Okachuku a bit rusty, come on, got some minutes. Gusto come on and got some minutes as well. We move, guys. We move. Man City get the Premier League title. We need to be with that conversation in 2025-26. Next season, we're not. The season after, we need to be in the conversation. We need to be contenders, because I think Pep's doing one more year. If he goes at the end of next season, at the end of his contract, I think we can't have anybody else lift this Premier League title as I'm watching them do it right now. Nobody else. We need to be there. If that's what these step-by-step, you know, phase by phase in this project is trying to take us to, that level, then I need to see it. I need to see that trajectory and make it sharp. Because, yeah, the game is about glory, bruv. And like the manager said, we ain't celebrating sixth. We ain't popping champagne and doing up confetti for sixth. That's what they're doing today, Man City. They're winning their fourth Premier League title in a row. And he's holding up fingers. It's mad. So, yeah, make sure you subscribe, smash up the likes. And I'll see you guys next time in a bit, people. Peace.